Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Strange Fantasy. I'm Travis.
Ashley here.
And I'm Trey.
We're the creators, writers, and producers of the show. We just wanted to take a quick second before diving into tonight's tawdry tale to let you know that if you like Strange Fantasy, be sure and show your love by subscribing, downloading, and rating the show on iTunes or any of the many platforms we exist on.
And for exclusive rewards and merchandise, or just to donate to our cause to help us to continue to thrive, be sure to visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/strangefantasy.
Also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Strange Fantasy Show for updates and haunting original art.
All of this and more can be found at our website, strangefantasyshow.com. And now,
Your feature presentation.
Welcome to another regaling of strange fantasy. Obscure oddities meant to shock the nervous system and stir the very core of your soul. In tonight's tale, we delve further into our previous fable. In this installment entitled Until Death, Part 2.
Your Majesty.
What brings you into the forest so late at night?
You, my queen. I wanted to offer you my sympathy for the loss of your father. The king was a great man to learn and to serve under.
Your sympathies are hurt, Sir Wilbrook. Though, if you would not mind, I wish to be left alone with the memories of my father.
I understand, my queen.
Please refrain from addressing me as your queen. I have not yet earned this privilege.
I shall take my leave of you.
Sir Wilbrook, I know you remain standing in the distance.
Do you wish for me to leave completely, Your Majesty?
No. You may stay as you are. I suppose it is comforting to know that I'm not truly alone amongst the darkness of the forest. Sir Wilbrook, are you still there?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Why do you not respond?
I thought you did not wish for me to speak.
Oh, you half-wit. I'm prepared to venture back to the castle now. There is no more comfort within my silence.
Of course, Your Majesty. So I may prepare myself. Were you contemplating another wager to be had on our ride home?
Not tonight. You may remain at ease.
If I may inquire, why do you always run to that giant tree by the brook?
When I was ill, my father would tell me stories at night of that giant tree.
What sort of stories?
There has always been one. I remember without question, long ago, there was an old and tired god who became lost in the world of man. He roamed all across the land, seeking out the reason for man's existence. It was not long before the old god discovered that the nature surrounding man was all reason for life. So he planted his feet firmly into the dirt and became rooted into nature. And over time, the old god became that giant tree by the brook. My father had always thought, by simply sitting underneath its branches, it would somehow help to heal a broken spirit.
I like that story. We have arrived, Your Majesty. Please allow me.
Thank you for keeping me in kind company, Sir Wilbrook.
I am humbled by your words.
You are indeed a good man. Thusly, I bid you good night.
And a good night to you, my queen. I apologize, Your Majesty.
No need to worry yourself, Sir Wilbrook. In due time, I must become stronger-willed if I am to lead an entire kingdom. I do not feel this to be as futile as I once thought. And that is in gratitude to your presence tonight, Sir Wilbrook. For that, I truly thank you.
Of course, Your Majesty. I shall take my leave now. Good night.
Good night.
My queen,
Good day to you, Maester Destrian.
and a good day to you, my queen. How are you faring?
My heart and spirit still mourns, however, in turn, I feel my sadness will pass.
A truly wise confidence to wield, my queen.
Any word on the return of my father's body?
Yes, my queen. Your men have just arrived with his remains.
Remains?
Yes, I regret to say some of the wilderness had, well, discovered his remains. If I may, Your Majesty, I feel it best for you not to see such a horrible sight.
I will heed your advice, but not follow it. I wish to see my father at once.
My queen, you should remember your father as he was, not as he became.
I thank you again for the counsel, Maester. However, my wish shall not be denied. Now take me to him.
Yes, Your Majesty. This way.
Eddie's men.
My queen, are you absolutely sure?
Yes.
Men, if you would please grant the queen a moment of peace for her grievances. Take your leave.
Maester, if you will please remove the cloth from my father's face.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Oh my God, Father? No. Oh, Father. I miss you so much. Why were you taking it from me?
My queen, please, let us go prepare for his death pyre. We shall release his spirit back onto the nature. There now. Take my hand. It'll be all right. Let it out, my dear. Let it all out. People of the Mario Kingdom, hear me now. Tonight, amongst the heavens and nature, we gather to honor a great man that has brought forth flourishing life, love, good health, and good fortune all across the lands ruled under his hand. And to all the people who believed enough to follow in what this man stood for his beliefs, for his heart and compassion, we gather to honor the life of the late King Francis Mallier. And I am certain when I say that all of you in attendance, and even those who are not, King Francis Mallier made a difference for all whom sought his words and his guidance. And for that, we shall keep you forever in our hearts before we rest his remains upon the burning pyre. Queen Gwendolyn Mallier would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Maester Destrian. Your words have truly touched my somber heart. Hello, everyone. I know all of this is happening rather fast, and you may feel this to be difficult to accept, as I do. However, my father was a great man, and I consider myself to have learned the importance of his values. And as your newly appointed queen, I promise you all, I will never turn away from you, that I will always listen with an open heart, and cherish your unique value. I promise that we can, and will overcome any challenge put in our place, because our strength is within our love. And through our love, we rise. Thank you all for honoring my father. Maester, if you would please carry out the ritual.
Of course, my queen. Men, present King Francis Maria to the burning flames of his death pyre, and may his spirit return from whence it came. Goodbye, old friend. Alas, you may rest in peace.
Maester Destrate, may I speak with you in private?
Of course, my queen. What is it?
Would you agree I must remain in command of my father's kingdom to ensure the success of our values?
Wholeheartedly, my dear. His blood courses through your mind and spirit. There is no contest for another to ruin his state.
And with this truth, I will give my life to fulfill. Which is why I need to tell you a secret I've been hiding for nearly 6 years. Though it seems I shall continue to hide it for as long as I can, but I just have to confide in you, Maester. I made a terrible mistake when I was young.
Go on, my dear. Tell me what troubles you.
I made a bargain with the Dark Lord himself.
You did what?
It is the truth, Maester. I offered my spirit for a chance to live and find my true love. Throughout the years, I have learned many curious wonders about myself.
I fear I'm at a loss in the words you speak, my dear. To what wonders are you referring?
It is quite a miraculous thought to consider. I am not sure how to describe. I have some sort of immunity to death.
My dear, are you feeling all right? I can understand with your father's death, you must have a very mournful mind, subjecting you to a terrible case of grief. Let us return to the castle, so you may retire for the night. I am sure you are absolutely exhausted.
Maester, please, that is not where I wanted to lead our conversation. Please listen, and consider what I am telling you.
I am listening, your majesty.
Do you remember my last name day?
Yes. The day you almost drowned. What of it?
I did drown long before anyone arrived to help me. I remember being swept downstream, and I was dragged back under. I remember that first breath of icy water filling my lungs, and then I sank all the way to the bottom. I was waiting for everything to go black, but I waited and waited. Nothing. I did not die, and I was completely aware, so I managed to crawl along the water's floor to a more shallow area, and that's when I was discovered. And the water pumped from my lungs, you see. Maester, I have come to the conclusion with my curse, if I am never to find my true love, then I am never to die.
My queen, this is...
You must believe me. The night of my recovery, he came to my bedside and offered me a second chance. I willingly accepted.
I have no words, my dear. You honestly believed you offered your spirit to the Dark Lord?
Yes, however awful it may sound, I believe this curse upon me can be salvaged into the kingdom's favor.
Yes. I see where your intentions lie. However, I'm having difficulty believing any of this to be true.
Please try and understand. I was a desperate child. I was not ready to die.
My dear, if what you speak is true, then you have damned your spirit to the eternal darkness. You speak of an opportunity for love and life and to rule the kingdom, and yet you are unable to see the fault in your plans. You cannot have it all, Gwendolyn. You will never be free.
I understand the consequences of my actions, Maester, which is why I will never leave the castle again. I shall remain in the darkness, never to be found by an invitation for love, and I shall rule this kingdom with honor for the rest of my days, however long that may be.
A kingdom needs a face for hope. This cannot be achieved in the shadows.
What a kingdom needs is not a face, rather an idea, a solid foundation from which we build. A voice can achieve this just as well.
Your devotion is admirable, my queen.
It was the only way, Maester. Would you continue to honor me by staying at my side, not only as my counsel, but more importantly, my friend, and my last bit of family?
Forever and always, my dear, forever and always. I'm sure, with the passing of time, we shall continue to grow. Darkness be damned.
My gratitude cannot be expressed enough to you, Maester. Thank you.
I shall always be there for you. My queen, may I enter? Good day to you, my queen. You look as beautiful as always. How are you faring?
The same as every other day, Maester. My sequestered days and nights are all blending together. My thoughts are always scattered and obscured by repetitive company of either you or my own shadow. I fare well today. Odd. I never noticed you walk with a cane before.
Yes, well, being my age, some natural onsets of fatigue are to be expected.
As I'm looking upon your face, it feels as if I'm looking into a reflection of days that have not yet to pass. It is difficult to describe, but these days cannot possibly be here already. Not enough has happened to make the way you look feel appropriate.
Well, Your Majesty, I would say quite a lot has transpired. And I would say, to most of us who are exposed, time has kept us in a nice straight line. Though it seems time has yet to figure out what to do with you.
I agree, and I must admit, on occasion my will is swayed by the thought of death's merciful release.
Your Majesty, please, that is no way to behave.
I simply grow tired, Maester. The kingdom thrives like never before. Peace has been in order for nearly 30 continuous years. I believe there comes a point where I will no longer be needed.
Oh, my dear. You should not concern yourself over such things. Your place is here, and will always be. Now, we have some matters to conclude in regards to appointing a new Royal Sheriff.
Sheriff Wilbrook is stepping down?
Oh, yes, Your Majesty. I have advised on many occasions of Sheriff Wilbrook's dissension of duty.
Oh, yes. It must have escaped me. And whom is Sheriff Wilbrook championing for his role?
His son, Sir Cassius Chaucer.
Sir Cassius. My knowledge of him is scarce. Do you believe him to be the next leader of the Royal Guard?
Yes. My favour is for Sir Cassius to lead. The Chaucer family blood is of the strongest. Sir Cassius is much like his father, and his father before him. I have no doubts reserved.
Thank you for your counsel, Maester Destrian. If you believe Sir Cassius to be the next royal leader, then it shall be done.
A wise judgment, Your Majesty.
Is there anything else to discuss?
Nothing else remains, Your Majesty. Should I presume your presence will not be in attendance at the official knighting ceremony then?
I attend. I'm just not seen.
Your Majesty, if I might say so, an appearance amongst your people is something greatly desired from what I'm told.
And what exactly is it you're being told?
Well, Your Majesty, the people seem to have all concluded you to be, well, let us just say, they think of you as being curious.
Curious. They all think of me to be some sort of phantom, do they not?
In a manner of speaking, yes. However, if you were to make an appearance at the ceremony, perhaps it would quell some of the suspicions concerning your people.
Backhanded talk or not, I cannot risk engaging with others.
I think it would be best if...
Maester Destrian, although I hold your counsel above all else, I wish not to hear any more of my attendance. My support will be recognized either way.
Yes, Your Majesty. I shall take my leave.
I am doing what's right. I am doing what's right. I'm doing what's right. How much longer until these words have no meaning?
All right, everybody. Good day to you all. The Kingdom of Malya has come together on this most joyous of days to honour and recognise the descension of a great leader and the ascension of another. The Kingdom of Malya recognises acting Sheriff Wilbrook Chauncey and his champion for his title, his only son, Sir Cassius Chauncey. Yes, all right, yes. If you two, please, would step forward. It is with great honour, under the command of Her Majesty, Queen Gwendolyn Malya, that I bestow upon you, Cassius Chauncey, the acting title as Sheriff of the Queen's Royal Guard. Please kneel before the sword to receive your honour.
No intended disrespect, Maester. But is it no longer customary for the Queen to bestow this honour amongst her chosen men?
Cassius, mind yourself when giving something. I apologise for the interruption, Maester.
Yes, well then. Sir Cassius, if you would please kneel.
With honour, Maester.
Sir Cassius Chauncey, I hereby anoint you as acting Sheriff of the Queen's Royal Guard. You may now rise.
I'm so very proud of you, son. I wish your grandfather could bear witness to the man you've become.
Thank you, Father. I would not have been this man if not for you.
All right. Thus concludes the royal ceremony. A celebratory feast has been arranged for this day by the graciousness of Queen Malya. If we could all make our way to the dining hall, preparations are being made for us now.
Quite the spirited young man, without a doubt. He is the son of Sir Wilbrook. So falsely confident, or the way he carries himself. And just as handsome. I suppose if anything, he is like Wilbrook. Cassius will grow to be wise. Oh, Mary! My goodness, you gave me a fright.
My apologies, Your Majesty. I didn't mean to.
It's quite all right, Mary. How can I help you?
Maester Destrian sent me to ask you a question.
All right, well, what is the question?
Yes, Your Majesty. His question is, would you care for supper to be brought up to your chambers?
Oh, please do not bother. My appetite is somewhat lost on me at the moment. But thank you, though.
You're welcome, Your Majesty. So should I go bring it to you now?
What? No, Mary. I'm not very hungry right now. I will be passing on supper tonight. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Do you need anything else, Your Majesty?
No, thank you, Mary.
Yes, Your Majesty.
I need to clear my head. One full moon and one full sun. My love of truth will be gone. The dark shall rise and I shall fall. With the night hand, I am small. Who goes there? I said, who goes there?
Hello, miss. No need to be frightened.
And what makes you think I'm frightened of you?
If I may be so bold, what is a lovely young woman like yourself doing way out here in the Queen's Forest alone?
I am minding my own. Now answer me this. What is a newly appointed royal sheriff doing way out here in the Queen's Forest?
Looks as if we are both attempting to escape. Whatever the reasons, how about we both agree to have never seen each other tonight?
Fine by me.
Well then. Good. Well then. I shall leave you to it. Take care, miss.
And you, Sheriff Chauncey. What is it? Did you forget something?
Miss. Miss. I know we're just strangers to each other, but may I confide in you a burden that weighs heavily upon my spirit?
If you must.
Thank you, miss. You see, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to be the next royal sheriff. Truth be told, I do not think I will ever be ready. The knowledge that the kingdom's safety rests solely upon my shoulders frightens me to no end. My dreams have all turned to nightmares, and now with the events of today, my nightmares have become real. I cannot be this noble leader everyone expects, and I feel completely lost now. I don't know what to do.
It takes a great amount of bravery to come forward in honesty about how you feel. And please know that others have been in your place before, and will continue on after you. I have felt your fear before, and I understand that it can rule you if you allow it. But know this, what you are feeling is not all that there is out there. Once you find your peace in the acceptance of things not of your control, then you will find this feeling of fear to have passed.
Your words just now resonated within me, a certain calmness amongst my chaos, like a ripple fading in water. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
I sure am happy to have found you here tonight. You are my good luck charm. May I know your name?
I have to be going now. Please excuse me.
Wait, no, but please wait. At least tell me your name, miss.
Please, I must be going.
Please, just wait a moment.
Just leave me alone.
But why, miss? Have I done something to have offended you?
No.
Then why all of a sudden do you run away from me?
Because I do not wish to know you. Now please leave me be. Yeah. Yeah.
Good day to you, Maester Destrian.
Ah. A good day to you as well, Sheriff Cassius. How are you faring today?
Well, Maester, I am concerned.
Concerned? What for?
A royal letter from the Skellen territories has just arrived. It tells word of Lord Raymond's recent death, and that the newly appointed lord will be his son, Lord Ulrich Skellen.
And what of this news do you find concerning, Sheriff?
The letter continues to tell of Lord Ulrich travelling to the other two kingdoms for a new meeting of arrangement.
That damn snake. My apologies. This is absolutely concerning, Sheriff Cassius. Thank you for bringing this to my attention promptly. You may be dismissed.
Well, Maester, we need to construct a plan for retaining our arrangement.
I am fully aware of what needs to be done here, Sheriff Cassius. It would be wise to remember your place.
Yes, Maester. My apologies. It was not of my intention to show disrespect.
You are forgiven, Sheriff. And you are dismissed.
Yes, Maester.
Oh, this is not good at all. Your Majesty, I need to speak with you at once.
Please take a seat, Maester. What troubles you?
My Queen, word has arrived from Skellen's kingdom. Lord Raymond is dead, and his son Ulrich is preceding the throne.
And this troubles you?
Lord Ulrich is travelling to meet with the other two kingdoms with intentions of a new arrangement.
Ah, now I see. This is no good at all, Maester. We need to assemble a meeting of leaders tonight to discuss a plan to contain this visit from going terribly wrong.
Right away, Your Majesty.
Please forgive my intrusion, Your Majesty, but I must speak with you about this situation. It's you!
Have you no manners?
What are you doing in the Queen's royal chambers?
I see being a half-wit runs heavily in your family.
I demand to know why you are in here. Tell me before I have you arrested.
Arrested for what? Dwelling in my own private quarters? Listening to a very naive intruder's outlandish accusations? I should strike your title and have you chained in the center of my kingdom, and let the people throw rotten tomatoes at you until a decent set of manners is forged by your thick head. What say you to these truths?
Oh my goodness, please forgive me, Your Majesty. I was unaware that you were, well...
You may stop groveling, Sheriff, but hear me when I say, if you ever forget your place and status within my kingdom again, I absolutely promise to fulfill my words. Is this to be completely understood, Sheriff Cassius?
Yes, Your Majesty. My utmost apologies.
You may take your leave of me, Sheriff. There will be a meeting held tonight to discuss and ensure Lord Skellen's visit is executed with the respect and strength needed of our will to not be moved by any threat.
Of course, Your Majesty. Again, my apologies for the intrusion. It shall not happen a second time.
Be sure of it, Sheriff.
Yes, Your Majesty. My goodness.
Oh, my merciful mother. This is not good. I need to distance myself from him. I must not feel for him, else it be my end.
No. Peace cannot be achieved by meeting Skellen's fist with our own. War is a futile strategy with which to leave, Sheriff Cassius. Perhaps it was a bit too soon to elect another sheriff onto power.
So now you question my competence. Maester, with all due respects, your way of thinking is to be considered ancient at best. The very idea of Lord Skellen approaching on our kingdom is to be taken as a sign of force. The only salvation for our territory is through a greater force.
Do not let my age be mistaken for weakness. I am no stranger to the blood of war. My cautious wisdom could quite possibly save us all from years of oppression and darkness.
Darkness befell us all from the moment our kingdom received Lord Skellen's notice. No one believes he would travel here day and night just to have a reasonable, friendly discussion.
Well, what about his visit leads you to believe in such radical concepts? Where is your proof?
I'm not quite sure how to explain this to you, Maester. Yeah, my paranoia is an all too real feeling that creeps up my spine and buries deep seeds of doubt into my thoughts. I strongly believe everything will not remain the same after his visit. Things will change, and we must be prepared.
Your concerns are in fact valid, Sheriff. I must admit, I too share your feelings of doom. However, I also hold on to the thought of a higher hope, a true chance for peace, for an opportunity to grow together. I know this could be obtained if we all set aside our differences and move forward as one mind with a common purpose for success. Peace can be achieved.
Maester, I admire your spirit greatly, and always have, ever since I was a young boy. And I honestly wish I could believe and trust in your words of cautious wisdom, when quite possibly your vision may come to fruition, and we will all live in harmony of the sun for the rest of our days. However, ideal as this may sound, Maester, we must always prepare for the absolute worst. And the reason is simple.
And what would be the reason?
What if?
You see, Sheriff, through debate and rational thinking, something beautiful always presents itself.
And what's that, Maester?
Compromise. I apologize for doubting your competence. I trust in your leadership, and I hold no doubt that you will be ready for whatever may come.
And I apologize for neglecting your wisdom. I am glad we have reached an agreement, Maester Destrian. Will Her Majesty be joining us to further discuss our strategies?
No. Her Majesty the Queen has retired for the night, so she may be fully rested for Lord Scallon to arrive by morn.
Then how is she to know the correct intentions when dealing with Scallon?
I have been the royal family's right hand for nearly all my life, and I serve Her Majesty the Queen just the same. I can assure you there has never been, nor will there ever be, a fault in our communication. Is this understood, Chef?
Understood, Maester. My apologies.
We shall not bring this in question again. Now, if needed, what are your thoughts on retaliation? And again, we are only discussing this openly and rationally. Nothing is definitive yet.
There is no further need for concern, Maester. I agree. If needed, our retaliation would have to be of...
Here he comes. Do I appear confident, Maester?
Do you feel confident?
Somewhat, I suppose. I feel more concerned than anything else.
If you hold no doubts, you will have no regrets.
All right. Here we go.
So, you must be Queen Malheur. To be completely honest, I expected someone rather, well, older, I suppose, and uglier. Only a bit of humor, Your Majesty. You're an absolute vision upon the eyes and heart. It is obvious to see the rumors of your youthful beauty remain unattested.
The kingdom and I bid you a humble welcome, Lord Scallon.
Oh, please. Lord Scallon was my late and competent father. I wish to be referred to as Lord Ulrich.
The accommodation is hereby noted, Lord Ulrich.
Marvelous. You can always tell a kingdom to be in good health when the air smells sweet. Yes, indeed. A pure slice of heaven. My utmost respects to the wellness of your kingdom, Queen Malheur. You have retained a harmonious balance of peace and order, even after your father's passing all those years ago. The late king would be very proud of you.
I thank you graciously for all of your kind words, Lord Ulrich. It means a lot for your arrival here to be of a kind nature.
Well, of course. I am the newly appointed power over the Western Territory. I figure my travels are a mission of retaining balance and unity, as well as my official introduction to the realm of three kingdoms. Anything else should be considered false and promptly disregarded from thought.
Consider my worries quelled. Please, let us make our way inside so we may converse in comfort. This way, please.
That sounds marvelous.
Here we are. Would you care for anything before we begin?
No, please. You have been a most attentive host, and I thank you for everything.
It is my pleasure, Lord Ulrich. I would first like to offer my condolences for the loss of your father. I know how difficult this may be for you, especially when the hours of the day are overfilled with the new and immediate responsibilities of the crown and throne. Please know that you are not alone in your struggles.
I thank you for sharing your condolences for my father. However, he does not deserve another thought to his name. He was a cold and callous bastard. The realm shall be better off now that he is dead.
Oh, my apologies, Lord Ulrich. I was unaware that you felt so strongly.
When it comes to him, I feel nothing. Please forgive me for being so brash, but I wish to no longer speak of my father from here on out.
Understood.
I tend to lose my composure when I become upset.
I believe that to be true about most people. Sometimes the pressure of restraint can be so great. There is no other option but to give release. Holding on to such frustrations could not possibly be healthy.
Yes, indeed. Do forgive me if I'm staring at you. It's just, well, I am at a loss with your agelessness. I had this entire image of you created in my mind, and sitting here in your presence, I'm just at a total loss.
Yes, well, time has been rather kind to me.
I would absolutely agree. From all the stories that have been shared throughout the realm, it seems as if your name is most prominent.
My father had many accomplishments in his lifetime. Undoubtedly, the family name would be shared.
I was not speaking of your father's name. It is you that has undoubtedly lived a lifetime. How long has it been now? 31? 32 years in command of your father's kingdom?
My father died over 36 years ago, and that was the day my reign began.
I cannot begin to express how long it's been since I have conversed with a mentality like your own. It is refreshing, to say the least.
That is very kind of you, Lord Ulrich. I appreciate your company as well.
Just still cannot comprehend how impossibly young you appear. How old are you now?
Lord Ulrich, it is positively loutish to directly inquire upon a woman's age.
My sincerest apologies if I have offended you. I only meant my words to be compliments upon your remarkable beauty.
And that is perfectly fine within reason, Lord Ulrich. However, my age is and should not be of relative discussion.
While we were talking of things we should not, I would like to share a story with you. On the recent morning of my 39th year, I was awoken to the panicked cries of chamber servants. I walked toward the screaming, and I will never forget the immense joy that overwhelmed me as I looked upon my father's cold, dead body. I know it may sound sadistic to have such thoughts, but mind you, I have my reasons. Would you care to know something secretive? My father took his own life by hanging himself from a wooden post in his private latrine.
He killed himself? But why? The few times I met your father, he never seemed, well, to have that kind of thing within his character.
Yes, indeed. He may have appeared that way when out in public eye, but if one could simply peer underneath the surface, there would be all sorts of dark secrets waiting to be discovered.
Yes, I suppose you are correct.
Now that we have satisfied our proper introductions to one another, I feel it is finally time to discuss a few unaddressed royal matters.
And what matters, pray tell, are unaddressed?
You will soon come to realize, if not already, that I am a very fair and reasonable man, and I like to consider the way in which I rule my kingdom to be as such. Thusly, my request is terribly simple. I want to extend my territory's edge to the northern sea banks.
Is this some of your humor again?
Not at all, Queen Mal here. I feel my terms are quite fair.
You cannot be serious. Do you actually believe that myself and King Ramsay of the East would just accept the reduction of our territories by nearly half?
Yes, that is what I believe and expect.
For you to enter my kingdom with all of your false praises and claims of unity, do you even understand what you are asking?
Of course I understand. But do you understand well enough to know this land rightfully belongs to me and my family? You see, long ago when the unification of the realm was being established, your grandfather cheated land out from under my grandfather, and it was called fair.
It was to create an equality amongst the three divisions, each territory separated with no measurable differences. It would be unquestionable to take from another and give to yourself. Our ancestors gave too much just to have it all selfishly usurped by some spoiled snot who claims to be a fair and reasonable man.
So would it be safe for me to assume my request will not be honored?
Correct. And at first light of dawn, I want you and your men to take your leave from my kingdom.
Queen Malheur, please reconsider my offer before our ties become completely severed?
I will do no such thing.
I will ask once more, reconsider my offer before our ties become completely severed.
To what offer are you referring? There was never any offer made. You simply made a demand.
My offer is that you accept the reappropriation of my rightful lands, or you and your beloved kingdom shall be burned to the soil, and all that shall remain be the ashes of your ignorance.
I do not respond well to threats.
The notion of war does not sway your ignorance.
Not even in the slightest. The realm will never fear you, Lord Ulrich. Obviously, you are not capable to rule as a fair leader. Thusly, you are a mistake, and mistakes can be corrected.
I see. Well, Queen Malheur, I would like to thank you once again for your prior hospitality. However, it would be best for my men and I to leave tonight.
I agree. Please vacate my territory as fast as your horses will ride. And if our paths are ever to cross again, then it shall be considered an active war.
Indeed. Oh, before I leave, may I tell you another secret? Do you know why my father killed himself? Guilt. My father had one thing right in this entire miserable life, and that was to try and get our lands back from you ignorant thieves. It seems our families are destined to repeat history. Our grandfathers did it, our fathers did it, and so shall we. If you just look underneath the surface, then you'll understand. My father had your father killed. He planned the whole thing. I was just a small boy at the time, but I remember, oh yes, I remember. Stained within my mind is the return of the soldiers in black, their swords and armor still dripping with warm blood. My father was overjoyed with this little accomplishment. However, when a plan just doesn't come together, it is astonishing to witness how quickly the face of joy can turn into anger.
Why are you telling me this?
I want you to know that if my worthless father can kill one of your kind, then I'll rip the sun from the sky to destroy you!
Oh God.
Is everything all right, Your Majesty?
Quite the opposite, Maester. The winds of war howl at our gates, and we must prepare.
Yes, Your Majesty. I shall inform Sheriff Cassius at once.
See that you do.
Thus concludes tonight's strange fantasy. Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion of Until Death.
Strange Fantasy presented Until Death Part 2. Written by Travis Scarbro and Ashley Scarbro. Produced by Ashley Scarbro, Travis Scarbro, and Trey Gonzales. Original score by Travis Scarbro. The players of tonight's tale are as follows. Ashley Scarbro as Gwendolyn Malheur. Travis Scarbro as Maester Destrian and Sheriff Cassius Chaucer. Heath Allyn as Sir Wilbrook Chaucer. Trey Gonzales as Lord Ulrich Skellen. And Martina Ohlhauser as Mary. Strange Fantasy Show was created by Travis Scarbro and Trey Gonzales. Strange Fantasy is copyright 2019, Strange Fantasy Productions, all rights reserved. All characters appearing in this work are fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons living or dead is purely coincidental.